Hi guys, welcome. I'm going to stop saying welcome because it annoyed me last time when I was speaking and saying welcome to everyone. So hi everyone, we've got people piling in straight away. This is looking a little bit odd here. Hopefully you guys can hear me properly. And we'll just wait for a few more people to come on board. So for those who don't know me, I am Gabrielle from GabrielMaston.com. This is my website here, GabrielMaston.com. I am talking tonight on behalf of Health Rewards, so healthrewards.co.uk. And we are going to be talking about heart disease today. So thank you so much for the hearts as well. My background, I'll tell you a little bit about me just so you know where I'm talking from. I'm in Sydney, Australia. And I work as a nutritionist, dietitian, and exercise physiologist. So I work in the medical field. I do see a lot of heart disease patients, as well as people that generally want to have better health, lose a bit of weight, all that type of thing. So, does anyone in the house know of someone or themselves have been diagnosed either with heart disease or have experienced a heart attack or stroke, in their life? Just let me know. So, and if you do have questions, please do let me know as well. Okay? Speaking happens. Thank you for joining us. So, well, we have a lot of people sort of trolling tonight, don't we? So we're trying to get rid of them. There we go. Yep. Okay. All right. So, guys, we're going to get started. Tip number 1. So, top tip for avoiding heart disease. The first one is to eat a lot of seafood. So, mainly in particular, I'm talking about omega-3 fish. Okay. Omega-3 fish. So, let me know as we go along if you do have questions. I'm happy to answer them on any topic. Okay, but today, for the people that are piling in, we're talking about heart disease and reducing risk of heart disease. Okay, so, like I said, the first thing that we can do to avoid heart disease is to eat fish. And the reason why eating all different types of fish is good is because white fish is a very lean meat and it's like game meat, yeah? So it doesn't hold very much fats or anything. So it's really lean protein that's highly nutritious, okay? So it has a lot of iron, magnesium, calcium in it, and zinc, of course, if you're eating shellfish as well. But in terms of heart disease, it is good to eat oily fish. So do all of you out there know what oily fish are? So the types of fish that constitutes an oily fish? Just write your comment up. So I'll give you a chance. So the oily fish is really good because it contains things called omega-3s. So omega-3s is just a type of fat. Sardines, yes, thanks for commenting as well. So sardines, yeah, sardines is an oily fish. So is mackerel, tuna, cod, and salmon. There we go. I was trying to think of them all. So yeah, so they're all oily fish that you can have. And so they've actually found through research that there is a dosage that is good to reduce heart disease. So it's 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 per day is actually beneficial. So it is better to get it through the fish itself or other omega-3 based plant sources like nuts and seeds, olive oil, avocado, okay? So if you don't like fish, that's okay. You can have the omega-3 coming from plants and vegetables, okay? Or nuts and seeds. Hello, how are you? Okay, so the second tip I'm going to tell you to avoid heart disease is to include fiber in your diet. So again, pop quiz. Do any of you guys out there, you scopers, do you know where fiber comes from? Or can you name any foods that contain fiber? Oh, thank you for the love hearts and the roses. So any food, so put up the comments, any foods that you know that contain fiber. I'll just give you a tip. Any sort of plant is going to contain fiber. Kale, yeah, kale contains fiber. And for the people out there who don't know what kale is like, it kind of looks like silver beet or spinach, and it's a little bit more coarse. Broccoli, yes. Wheat Bix, awesome. Yeah, so they're all great sources of fiber. So when we say fiber, I mean anything that's green, so any plant, green leafy vegetable, as well as your other colored vegetables. So tomatoes, potato, pumpkin, sweet potato, they all have fiber, capsicum, carrot, so any plant. And we're also talking about our whole grains. So that's wheat, rye, barley, spelt, collard greens. Yes, definitely. Collard greens contain fiber. Definitely do. So anything that is derived from a plant has fiber in it. Even avocados and nuts, you see. Nuts are a really interesting one. So I mentioned nuts contain a lot of fat in them, yeah? Omega-3 fats or polyunsaturated fats that are really good for your heart. Now, the reason why nuts haven't been shown to make you gain weight, so that's actually a myth. You don't actually put on weight by eating nuts, is because the fiber in the nuts encapsulates the fat, so we don't actually absorb as much fat. So scientists believe that we only actually absorb about 30% of the fat contained in nuts because of the fiber that surrounds the molecules of fat. So that's why, in one way, fiber is good for us. In another way as well, fiber helps do the same thing in the body to cholesterol. So when we eat food containing fiber, it goes into the blood, encapsulates the cholesterol, and takes it out of the system. Yeah, very interesting. It is really interesting. And it's a really simple way to try to reduce your cholesterol, to reduce heart disease risk, so that you can live a happy, healthy life without trying medications. Okay? So, you know, as much as you can avoid medications through changing your diet and doing exercise, it's very beneficial, yeah? Who wants the side effects of medications if you can just be healthier? That's the way that I look at it anyway. Okay, so don't forget, you can ask me any questions as you like it to as we go along, because we're up to tip number 3. So the third tip is eat plenty of vegetables. So there's another thing in vegetables. Any particular nuts? Hang on. So I'll go back to the vegetable point in a second. Are there any particular nuts that are better than others? All nuts are created equal. You can eat whatever nut you want, including peanuts. So we know that peanut is technically a legume, but you can eat legumes too. They're very healthy. So the studies that they've shown the heart disease risk decrease, so you know, improve your health, including cholesterol, has actually been done with numerous different types of nuts, and they've all shown to have benefit. In particular, pistachios, so you know the green pistachios, they've actually been shown to help with vasodilation, so flexibility of your arteries. So having flexible arteries is really beneficial to avoiding things like stiffened arteries, like atherosclerosis, which is part of heart disease, and blood pressure, so hypertension. So eating a range of nuts is beneficial. Now, you don't want to have salted nuts, and you don't want to have any nuts coated in sugar or any sort of extra additional fat. So just raw, unsalted nuts are the best ones to choose. Okay, I hope that answered that question. Now back to my third point. So I was going to say, oh yeah, so I know on the weekend I went to the markets, the local markets, and they had these beautiful Thai, Thai chili and lemongrass like cashews. So they were fried, so they weren't good for you. They were fried with a little bit of sugar, lemongrass, and it was just so nice. It was really nice. I think there was like about 500 grams of nuts, and then between me, my brother, and my fiance, we finished the whole lot off in one go. And I was like, this is more than a handful. I shouldn't be eating this many nuts, but you know, they're healthy, so go right ahead, just not deep fried. Okay, so my third point, what I was going to say is that vegetables are very good for your health, not only because of the fiber and the antioxidants and the minerals and vitamins that you get, but because they contain potassium. Okay, so this is where people go, potassium. I know what contains potassium. So let's see if we're going to get the same answers. So guys, what fruit do you know that contains potassium? I think there must have been a marketing thing going on for this particular fruit for everyone to know the answer to this. So what fruit do you know that contains potassium? So while you're coming up with the answer, I'll keep going. So potassium is really interesting because in the body, See, the body likes to be in what, there we go. Someone said it, bananas. Yes, that was the answer that I was looking for. So everyone knows that bananas contain potassium. They're a really high source of potassium-based fruit. So yeah, but now I'm saying that, yes, bananas contain potassium, but so do other fruits and vegetables. In particular, vegetables contain a lot of potassium, mainly if they're green and coloured, yeah? So what was I going to say? Yes, okay, so potassium is really interesting because in the body, it likes to stay what we call homeostasis, which is just another word for it likes to stay in balance. And when we eat foods containing sodium, so in other words, sodium is just salt. So sodium actually increases the water content in our body because the body likes to stay stable. So we naturally have a balance of water and sodium in the body. And so when we eat, for example, a packet of chips containing lots of sodium or salt, our body counteracts the salt and sodium intake with holding on to fluid. Yeah, so we get a bit of fluid retention when we eat really salty things. Now, potassium is really interesting because it adds a third thing into the mix, yeah? So potassium helps counteract the sodium balance, yeah? So if you're eating a lot of foods containing sodium, which is not advised, by the way, but if you are, it's good to counteract it with high potassium foods so they become in balance. They become balanced so that you don't increase the fluid in your body as well. Why is it bad to have lots of fluid and salt in the body? Well, it actually places lots of pressure on your heart. Okay, that's why they say salt is a silent killer. Because if we have a lot more volume of blood, okay, because the water in our body is actually stored in the blood, it's plasma. If we have a lot of water in our blood, it's actually really hard for the heart to pump. Yeah, it's like the heart gets overworked and it gets tired. So eating potassium-rich foods kind of counteracts that and gives our heart a bit of a rest. Okay, so there we go. There's the 3 reasons or 3 tips on how to avoid heart disease. The first one is eat more fish. So you want to eat at least 2 or 3 serves worth of oily fish within the week, and on some other days some white fish as well. The second point was eat more fiber. So that's coming from whole grains, nuts and seeds, and green leafy vegetables and coloured vegetables. And the third point was eat more vegetables anyway because of the potassium content. So there you go, guys. That's my tips. Did anyone else have any questions out there about anything nutrition, diet or exercise related? Or a question that you want me to cover next week? Like topic. Great information. Oh, you're welcome. Diamond 68. You're welcome. And thanks so much for commenting as well. You were really good. You were right on the ball. Okay. Well, guys, look, if you want to know more about me, go to my website. It's gabrielmaston.com. Can you review on substances that are banned in your country but legal in America that we need? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Cover illegal substances in Australia in terms of food, or you mean in terms of sports performance? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I know that a lot of products from America, for example, are banned in Australia that are in our foods. Well, the biggest differences between Australia and the American-based food chain is that we don't typically use high fructose corn syrup, and also trans fats are kind of ostracized from our food chain, but like dyes and things, that's not really my field, sorry. About like food colorings and stuff, that's more of a food technologist question. Maybe I can ask my friend who's a food techie. They can know about that. I'm not really sure about the additives and that, but I know that high fructose corn syrup and trans fats are a really big point of contention between the difference between our food chain and the American-based food chain. And artificial sweeteners. Oh, artificial sugars. You want a segment on artificial sugars. Yep, okay. I'm just writing it down. Artificial sweeteners. We can go through the differences between them. Cancer-causing agents. So carcinogens. Yep, carcinogens. Okay. We'll do that. So I have to spell it out. I'm a really bad speller. So carcinogens and artificial sweeteners, we can definitely do that. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for listening. You'll see me next week. And I'm so sorry I wasn't on last week. My phone kind of died. But yeah, I'll be on next week. So thanks, and thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.